What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a video that I've done about, I don't know, 6 times now. I wanted to present something new, just kind of a modded forever world. You know, being a busy dad to a couple young kids and working full time doesn't give me a whole lot of time to play in the evenings. You know, don't want to neglect the family by going in and playing video games as soon as I get off of work. So I only get a couple hours, maybe a week to play. So doing things like, setting up vanilla automation and it's just not an option for me. So I started a modded Forever World. I was inspired by all the Forever hardcore worlds that I've been seeing around, and I go, that would be really cool if I had the time to, dump into something like that. Unfortunately, I don't get to do content creation 100% of the time. Still have to go out and get a job, stuff like that. So this is a kitchen sink mod pack that I've kind of added things to. This world is kind of the idea that once my family grows old enough, they'll be able to join me on. That's trippy. They'll be able to join me on. This can kind of act as a gaming diary of why I built something the way that I did, or how it used to look. Just kind of that stuff. So this is kind of the intro to what I'm doing, as well as a couple mods. As you can see, I've got botany pots for automating crops. I got sophisticated storage as excuse me, as one of my storage options. I've got create, but then I also have apotheosis, farmer's delight, let's do vinery. I've got tinker's construct. I've got easy villagers, Tom's simple storage, because in the infinite wisdom of Captain Sparkles, who I totally agree with, storage is a right, not a privilege. Plus, I've got tons of decoration packs. My wife does play on this world, so she loves to decorate. Also got fun things like exotic birds, mythic mounts, as you can see, my pet dragon. He's just sleeping. Stuff like that. But one of the things that I wanted to do with this series is it's not going to be a constant everyday come along with me for the ride type thing. It's mostly going to be if I'm working on a specifically interesting project, or just a showcase of what I've been working on when I get the time. That way I don't have to feel stressed about, all right, what am I doing in this episode? What am I doing in this? No, this is just purely going to be kind of like a showcase. Or if I do have a build project that I want to start it from the beginning with you guys, that's kind of how it's going. This is day 533 on this world. I'm not going to pretend, not going to restart it. I've had this world up for 533 in-game days. It's up to about 127 hours total. When I have the opportunity, I do leave my computer running overnight so that I can generate some resources for the projects. When I get to a point where I feel like it's ready for other people to play if they wanted to, not on my world specifically, but the mod pack itself, I will look into what I have to do to release it as a mod pack everybody can play. But for right now, it's purely something that I'm working on. This is currently version 4 of the mod pack. trying to get everything up and running. Obviously, I started with a lot more stuff, but some of those mods just made it feel like cheating. It was too easy. Now, granted, I've got a lot of stuff that makes my life easier, but I don't want it to be like I'm just playing in creative, because then why wouldn't I just play in creative? I do like setting up the automation. I do like making things work for me rather than just cheating it in. So one of the first things that I wanted to do was showcase kind of what I've got going on, but also what I plan to do. So if we take a look at my map here, you can see a lot of colors. The yellow indicate roads, pathways, things of that nature. And red indicates the base foundation of a structure. The lime green is the space that I had to allocate for depth for the builds. But this is going to be the city of New Bell, which I'm thinking, as far as world lore goes, it's kind of the center for automation. This is right next to spawn, so it kind of indicates to me like, yeah, this is where I first set up. This is where I got everything going. Light blue indicates where I'm putting a water feature. So even though this is going to be in the middle of a wheat field, I would like to have a waterfall that goes in here. I'm just trying to take the terrain as I find it, and yeah, maybe I'll adjust it. I've honestly got to figure out how to make this look like water is actually coming from somewhere. But head on over to the New Bell Town Center. A lot of this forest will get obliterated, but I don't want to do it beforehand because I don't know what I want to keep, where I want to put buildings, stuff like that. So I've got a building that's kind of in progress, but before I made too much progress, I kind of wanted to sit there and go, you know what, I need to put out this video. I need to make the introduction before too much stuff goes up, because then it's like, okay, what's the deal here? How'd he do that? Stuff like that. So I do know what this building is going to be. This is going to be the logistics agency. It's going to just, be a building. Eventually, I may end up putting Minecraft Comes Alive or the more updated version into the game so that I can bring a little bit more life to these towns. But my goal is to have the area safe and secure enough that mobs won't spawn, I can have villagers running freely, so everything feels like it's alive. But one of the main goals of, making this town is that I'm not just doing the standard... Oh, there's a bear. I'm not just doing the standard, like, all the mods, where you're just throwing all of your stuff in an area, you don't build a house, stuff like that. I want my stuff to be, looking nice. So this is going to be factories where because I have Create, I'm going to be automating the production of clay. I can do that by having cobblestone being fed into crushing wheels that get fed into washers, stuff like that. So I'm trying to make maybe this be the cobblestone generator portion, where I figure out like a minecart system to take it over there, and maybe have some like pipes hidden underneath, so like actual progress is being made. I'm not waiting for minecarts to do all the work, but at least it looks like it's doing stuff. This is going to be kind of the quarry, and I want it to be kind of like the factory row type thing. So I've got, all the automation that I'm trying to set up is all the stuff for future builds. So as you can see, there are 4 other, well, actually, you can ignore that one. There are 3 other waypoints here, and these are going to be towns that are connected via the Create train. So I've got kind of the rail line already started being carved. But up here in this dark oak forest, you've got Grimspire. I've got some ideas for how I want those buildings to look. And then you go further north into this large shrouded cliffs that has some very nice foggy aura and ambiance to it, to the town of Direwood, which is inspired by the last time I tried to make a Forever World that just kind of got it had some mods in it that caused item bloat and made it too easy, and it was kind of miserable. So I've gone through and I have um oh, and then over here you've got Springhaven. One of the cool add-ons for Create that I have is it's the Infinite Ores excavation mod. So, interestingly enough, Springhaven has an infinite ore deposit of emeralds. So, obviously, there can be some lore behind that. Whoa, okay, that's loud. There can be some lore behind Springhaven being a minting capital, stuff like that. It can have, you know, treasuries, and it's the banking hub, stuff like that. Who knows? But that's kind of my plans for everything. I needed food automated, so I've got I had a feeding trough in here that automatically feeds the cows. In the barn, I've got the 2 cows that I'm saving for breeding purposes, just in case I accidentally slaughter them all. And then over here, you've got chicken eggs being collected automatically. Over here, you're going to have the dairy, where we're going to have automatic milk production that will eventually be fed into systems that auto make cakes or other foods or whatever I want. I don't know, because of Create and Tinker's Construct and milk. Maybe I'll just cover a biome in milk. I don't know. But the point is, this is a forever world. I have the ability to move and travel fast, which means that it just opens the world up to a lot more just opportunities. Just building whatever comes to my mind, or if I want to do goofy structures. I do have plans for making a dungeon, like my own custom dungeon with Apotheosis. I can silk touch spawners and edit them. So how cool would it be to have a unbreakable dungeon that you can just run when you feel like fighting, and you don't need it for anything other than just blowing off some steam. So that's kind of my goal here with this world. I've got, I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands for whatever. I prefer to come home, spend time, play with the kids, play with the dogs, stuff like that. But, I've been playing Minecraft for a very long time. I'd eventually love to get them to be able to play on this world with me. We do have a forever world that my wife and I are working on in vanilla Minecraft, but, like when that progress is going slower. That's more along the lines of what we expect vanilla survival. The automation setup is a lot slower. So, we wanted something that keeps us interested. So there's tons of bosses, like we've got Cataclysm, Mousie's mobs, Mousie's Cataclysm, stuff like that. We also have a ton of magic mods. We have Tac Z, so you can run around with the guns, which I haven't set up yet because it's very cheaty, but it also takes a lot of gunpowder and a lot of copper, which I have not set up any mob resource gathering. But as you can see, 432 amethyst shards, because I've spent, I want to say, a good 3 hours gathering all the materials needed for a Fortune 12 pickaxe. So, stuff like that makes it easier, And I don't feel as bad because I still spent 3 hours trying to get that pickaxe all set up and ready to go. And albeit it's my third one because I kind of forget and destroy the pickaxe. But it's like, I'm not working in creative. Like, I have no problem with going into creative. It's my world, and if I deem something is too annoying, oh well. This is not a hardcore world. This is not nothing. It's purely just for my family's fun and enjoyment that provides enough of a challenge that I don't have to feel bored. Ow. I don't have to feel bored with working on the same single project and having to stop every 10 minutes to go get more resources because my eyes are bigger than my stomach. Ow. But yeah, it's stuff like this where I just kind of, I'm playing my own way. Go away. Annoying. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. That's what the purpose of this world is just, I grab 30 minutes here, 45 minutes here, on the off chance that, I don't know, Geraldine, the extra fishy, has awoken nearby. Just on the off chance that I get some extra time, I can come in here and play, and I don't have to feel like I didn't get anything done. It's really my end goal here. Is I like to make progress. I like to build in survival. I think it's a fun challenge. Hopefully my builds don't disgust you. I've been working on trying to make them look better, but if you enjoy them, you enjoy them. If you don't, then I don't know. Are you really gonna argue with me about taste? But that's neither here nor there. Susan. No, just kidding. Anyway, so let's see about getting into it. Let's figure out what kind of projects you guys want to see on this world. Eventually, I will be doing small tutorials for some of the mods that I find. Don't have a whole lot of documentation out there on, how to do certain things, or what my favorite builds are, whether it be for gear or for actual buildings. But my goal is to set up the automation around New Bell, and that way, by the time I'm getting to the other towns to build them, I'm not having to stop every 20 minutes because I don't have enough wood, or because I'm missing that particular kind of stone. I'm also not going out and just obliterating the environment every time I need sand or clay. Yeah, I've already done that for now, but I'm just trying to get to the point where I can set up an automated system to do it so I can just leave the world mostly intact. For how much you saw is cleared over in the factory area, once the factories are up and I've done all the design work and all of that, I am for sure going to try to replant some trees where I can, or put in some extra structures that make it look good, work on water features, stuff like that. Also, for the record, there are 610 buckets of honey in here. I don't know what I was thinking because I didn't add enough space on the backside to actually take the honey out. So yeah, that's fun. I will be redoing this. It didn't come out how I had imagined, but I threw it up real quick, and it's fine for now because I just needed it for the automation. But I will be making a nicer version of this at some point once I get things done. As you can see, I have a lot of started projects, but I've abandoned them. For instance, this is the rancher's house. A rancher does not live here yet, and there's nothing in the house. Right here is the butcher's shop. The only things that I've done are made these paintings from the butchery mod. Got the menu, and it's got a diagram of the anatomy of a cow. And then in here is the cows and the chickens that need to be processed into their meats and stuff. Oh, you're an Eidolon repraised raven. So yeah, this is just kind of where I'm at. Is welcome to my world. Some of the little lore that I've already given myself is this airship village exiled me because I was stealing their stuff, and they dropped me off here, and they're on their way north. South. They're on their way south. So, yeah, just as we go, I'm going to build lore. I'm going to tell silly stories. I'm going to build silly buildings. But at the very least, I just wanted everybody to be involved. So be sure to be on the lookout for the next iteration of this. There will be a playlist in the description for um, for these types of videos, and they're going to be sporadic. Once I've finished something that I'm especially proud of, or I'm building a tutorial for some of the mods that I come across, then yeah, feel free to give them a watch. See how everything is coming up, and eventually, once the towns are done, we'll do showcases of the towns. See how I made it feel like they're alive now. See how the automation fits in with the rest of the world, so that it doesn't look like this. Like, why is it just coming out of the ground? Why are there two random metal presses out in the middle of a clear space, a clear opening? Why are these botany trees, or these botany pots just sitting on chests? Oh, these are all full. Oh, they're full. Okay, well, cool. Time to start automating stuff. But yeah, I've got kelp going for fuel and mechanical belt purposes. I got sugarcane for the paper. Eventually, there will be sugarcane for the what is the word? Sugarcane for the sugar automation. Whatever automation I can think of that'll make my life easier, then I'll probably try to work on it. Maybe it won't look as pretty. We also do have rings of ascension. We've got relics. We've got artifacts. We've got box of horrors and born in chaos. We've got reliquary. What else? We also have simply swords and simply more. Let's see. What other mods do I got going on here? I've got it's something I think like 400 something. Got Mousy's mobs. Okay, they are so loud. So loud. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Enemy expansion. Obviously, we have create. We've got the Feywild mod, which apparently has a whole dimension to it, and I've never seen anyone play it. So I'm excited to get into that. Make deals with some Fey. Got waystones to travel around. We've also got immersive aircraft, immersive machines. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm trying to think of anything else that we have. We've got mob cages that can auto farm mobs. But we also have apotheosis and mob grinding utils. Stuff like that. So I'm gonna be able to do some pretty cool stuff. Oh, we also have Ars Nouveau. We've got Hexarray. We've got Hexalia. Occultism. There's just plenty of different ways of doing it. Yeah, it's a kitchen sink pack, but if I want to build a wizard area, if I want to build a wizard area, then I want my storage system surrounding the wizard area to be, wizard related. I want to be able to use the bookworms, or occultism has its own interdimensional storage system. That was kind of my thought process behind the whole mod pack. Excuse me, you stop? Thank you. the kind of the whole idea is there shouldn't be any reason that you can't play the way that you want to in this mod pack. You want to be a wizard? Go for it. You want to be a gun runner? Go for it. You want to be an overstacked apotheosis individual? Go for it. You want to be one of the engineering nuts that's building crazy automation for Create? Go for it. There's no real reason not to. There are some things that are missing that I would have liked, like immersive engineering. Had some serious compatibility issues with the other mods that I was running. It caused actually very severe crashes that were corrupting worlds. So as I go on, more versions of the mod pack will come out once I've gotten it out, or once I've gotten it to a point where I like it and I've actually populated the quest book. I'm going to see about going through the whole process of actually getting it published as a mod pack that somebody can download. So this will be kind of my showcase to, also judge interest on this mod pack I'm creating. And I admit, yeah, it's kind of it's a kitchen sink mod pack, but it's not just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I am trying to put thought into, all right, well, that mod makes this other mod too easy, or you don't even need that other mod at all. There's absolutely no reason to use it if you have this other mod in there. And I'm trying to be mindful, but I also want people to play the way that they want. So, I do want to thank you for sticking around. I know this was a much shorter video than I normally do, but let's just sit here, look at the sunset, and say goodbye. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.